We then see the very definition of tumor humor. Sam's mom buys a pot brownie, and we are forced to sit through 2 agonizing minutes of quote-unquote comedy where she runs around and makes a fool of herself. Seriously, who on Cybertron thought that was funny?
Pretty girls, how are you? My son lives in this dorm. You should go make friends with him. He's Sam.
Glad she ain't my mama.
Oh, and he recently had his cherry pop. He didn't know I was in the house. I heard it all.
Hey.
Here he is. Oh, he would get in my closet and dress up as Boy Spy. Hey, and his car is a talking robot.
No, like.
Why did he go down there? If he'd stayed up in his room, no one would have known who he was. Idiot. Then we get to a scene you won't believe. You won't believe it. It's that insulting. We see Soundwave up in orbit launch something towards the Earth. It hits the ocean, and in about 3/4 of a second, a cheetah transformer runs up onto the beach. No, not that one. It jumps over a fence and spits a bunch of little beads into a pipe. The beads turn into little mini robots and start combining together and form a new transformer. Really? Look at this. This is another example of just taking things too far in the science fiction department. This goes against the physical laws of reality, and instantly your connection to the movie is gone. Also, think about the logistics of this. Does every Decepticon just happen to have a cheetah transformer in a pod inside of them? And do all of these cheetah bots have thousands of little beads inside of them that can stupidly turn into a third robot? When the third robot is finished, does it transform back into little beads and go back into the cheetah bot? That doesn't make any sense. It steals a piece of the Allspark and fights its way out of the base. Why are they taking so much effort to steal this piece when they know Michaela has one? It would be a lot easier to steal, and it wouldn't alert the military that they were up to something. Sam and the geeks then go to a frat party, and Sam walks around pondering all the college debauchery he could get involved with, when the Cybertronian symbols start effing with his head. He recovers, and then some girl viciously comes onto him, and he tries to resist. Bumblebee pulls up and says there's an emergency. Sam hops into the car and drives away, with the persistent hot girl coming along for the ride. Then we get more Herbie the Lovebug antics from Bumblebee, even though this is supposedly an emergency.
Then we get to a scene that literally serves no purpose whatsoever. Bumblebee drives Sam to a cemetery to meet Optimus. Optimus tells him about the Allspark shard getting stolen and that he needs help from Sam.
That is why they must be reminded by another human of the trust we share.
So, what? He thinks the government's gonna listen to some kid telling them that the Autobots are nice? What sense does that make?
But the last fragment of the Allspark was stolen.
Like what? Like Decepticon stolen?
We placed it under human protection at your government's request.
This is a glaring moment where Sam should have and logically would have told Optimus about his shard scanning the symbols into his brain. The dialogue would have gone like this. Sam, blah blah blah, piece of the Allspark. No man, that's not the last piece of the Allspark. I found one just yesterday. Come to think of it, it scanned all this weird shit into my head. Do you know anything about that? I guess that must have slipped his mind. This scene was only crammed in here to give Sam and Optimus some screen time together because, spoiler alert, Optimus is going to die soon and remain dead for most of the film. Sam leaves and this weird and pointless scene ends. We cut to a ship in the Atlantic Ocean and another cheetah bot lands on deck. How many of these things does Soundwave have up there? Does this one contain little nanites that will turn into a new robot? The cheetah bot and some other Decepticons dive into the water and find Megatron's body. They stab Megatron with the shard of the Allspark and he comes back to life. Wasn't that the exact thing that killed him in the first movie? Megatron flies out of the water into some unknown planet. He meets Starscream and roughs him up.
Okay, this is a good place to stop and talk about something. A problem that goes through the entire film. The animations and special effects in the first movie were revolutionary and truly incredible. However, in this film, they look pretty bad. There's not much else to say. The CG is nowhere near the quality it was in the first film. It's almost Sci-Fi Channel movie quality. Look at that. Look how bad that looks. Another good thing about the first film was how the CG elements and the actual special effects on set were seamlessly blended. But you can always tell in this film when something is added in digitally. And in a movie like this, where the main draw is the special effects, this is pretty disappointing. Anyway, back to the film. Megatron comes to talk to his boss, the Fallen. The relationship between Megatron and the Fallen is a pretty obvious ripoff of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. The Fallen is old, he lays there and calls Megatron, "my apprentice." Megatron tells the Fallen about the Allspark getting destroyed, and how now the race will perish, even though he was just brought back to life by a piece of the Allspark. The Fallen tells Megatron that the Allspark's power has been transferred into Sam. How does he know that? Is he a psychic transformer? The Fallen also says,
The key to saving our race now lies within his mind.
Also, apparently only a Prime can beat the Fallen. Why? This is just an arbitrary restriction because there is no explanation given, and it removes all the tension when Optimus dies because we know he's going to come back and beat the Fallen. Starscream then pipes up and says they need more Energon or the baby Transformers will die. This totally could have been an interesting idea in the film. The Decepticons are trying to have baby Transformers to create an army and beat the Autobots, but I'm not joking here, this is the only time it will be mentioned in the entire film.
We cut to Sam's first class in college, taught by Dwight from The Office, who you would not want your college-bound daughter taking a class with.
Finish that for me.
He's teaching when Sam has another Cybertronian symbol attack. He freaks out and runs up to the class and starts babbling on about Transformer stuff. Then we see Mikaela arriving back to the shop with the monster truck Transformer spying on her. Sam calls her and tells her about the symbols in his mind, as if he just figured out that touching the ancient Transformer device put ancient Transformer symbols into his head. Then the monster truck turns into a little blue Transformer. I don't think he has a name. We'll call him Joe Pesci. You'll see why. Joe Pesci tries to break into Mikaela's safe to steal the shard of the Allspark, but she catches him, roughs him up, puts him in a metal box, and then gets on a plane to find Sam. Then the military detects many Decepticons heading towards Sam's college, and the Autobots race to intercept them. There's a really bizarre moment with Leo and aggressive hot chick. Just watch.
Alicia, mi amor. Can I interest you in an 18-inch Zookeeper special? Extra large triple cheese with every known animal as a topping. Basically, I've got like 18 inches of meat. Unless you're vegetarian. All right, it's cool. I am too.
Why is that funny? He's trying to entice her with a pizza? Michael Bay, having characters say unfunny dialogue really fast does not make it funny. Aggressive hot chick goes into Sam's dorm and forces herself on him. She reveals a giant sharp metal tail, which is either the nerdiest S&M appliance ever or she's a Decepticon. Shame on you if you really didn't see that one coming. Things are just heating up when... oh no! Mikaela walks in!
Mikaela storms out, and then aggressive hot Decepticon chick starts strangling Sam. Mikaela and Leo come into the room, and the three start running as aggressive hot Decepticon chick transforms into a scary-looking robot. This begs the question, if Decepticons can disguise themselves as humans, let's not go there. Thus begins a long chase scene. The three run into the library and have a super cliched, the couple stops to bicker while they're getting chased thing. This might have been funny if the dialogue were funny, but guess what? It's not. Then Leo joins in and speaks more Jawa.
The nasty alien probe? She did it? She went in there? Our little embryo alien babies are gestating and hatching inside of you. They're growing right now, probably. You need to vomit it right now. Yak it! Yak it!
Was this actor drunk? Seriously. Aggressive hot Decepticon chick catches up with them, and we have a chase scene with Shia LaBeouf in a library.
Split!
Going too fast.
It's a matter of opinion!
No, not that one.